What's good, gang? You know, it's Friday and I love Fridays. So happy Friday, you guys. Thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel and my podcast. If you're listening, thank you so much. I love you guys so much. So today we have a good video. Let me just say, so you guys remember about 3 weeks ago when I did that success story for my client who has the kids and she needed somewhere to move and there was conflict with her ex, just everything, job, everything. It seemed like everything was stacked up against her and she wanted to manifest money and a new place to live. And the way that it unfolded was just so wild. Well, we have an update because she manifested working with me for the rest of the year. So that's what we're doing. But she hit me up and she was like, Autumn, it just seems like manifestation after manifestation, everything is happening all at once. And it's just been like this miraculous thing. And now I really don't have memories of who I was before. Like, it's so hard to really conceptualize that I was actually living in lack because she doesn't feel the lack now. She's not identified with the lack. So she's like, I don't understand why I can't even think. She said every time she thinks about lack, she's like, I can't even picture the fact that I used to live in that state. So I want to share some of the things that's been happening with her and also the tips as to why this is. So since we last spoke, she said that she was able to actually move in earlier than planned with the new place. She manifested that. And so now her place of employment, the law office, now she's going to become a paralegal, you guys. And she said she never saw that in her future, but the more that she's been around in that office helping people and just seeing the law and things like that, she wants to be more involved. So they're paying for her to actually become a paralegal. So she's like, that's more money, more opportunity. And she said that she wanted family. She wanted a close knit family since it's just her and her kids in that city. And she didn't want to move back to, where she came from in Florida. I believe that's where she's from. And she said that everyone is kind at her job. Like she said, the way that everybody just seems so family oriented, there's always grace, like for mistakes. She said people are lenient for like if she has to take the kids to school, all of that. She said it just seems like everyone is on her side and everyone sees her as valuable. They're always asking her opinion. And she just said that it just seems like they're all like this one big family. They really take it seriously. They hang out on weekends together. Like it's just a very close knit law group. But she said it seems like they're all family. And she said that's what she really wanted. And she feels like she has a support system. And her and the guy whose mother actually gave her the opportunity to live in her place. She said that they're becoming closer, like they're good friends. And it's just very amazing how this has happened for her in such a short period of time since we last spoke. And she ended up getting her settlement from her. She ended up getting her settlement from her ex, the father of her kids. He actually ended up giving her money. So she said that money's been in her account and she said she's been spending it, but she's also been doing all the things that she's wanted to do. But she said that she just loves the fact that the money's in there and that more money just won't stop coming after that. And she said that she wanted to lose weight. She felt like she wasn't where she wanted to be. She felt stressed and all those things. And so she just said that one day she stepped on the scale and she just naturally ended up losing 20 pounds. It's just like everything is unfolding for her back to back. There's these Pilates classes that she wanted to take, and it's in the building that she lives in downtown. So she went to go inquire about it, and now she gets a discount because she lives in those buildings. So she said that it's just like everything is happening for her. She said her and her ex, they get along so well. Even the new girlfriend, she said it's almost like it never happened, any of the lack. And they were able to come up towards a agreement without the court where her ex will be getting the kids for holidays and things like that. They were able to work it out without having court and all that. And she said that's what she really truly wanted. So she said it just seems like it's just happening and it's like he's so nice to her. She said it's just like nothing like it was before. And she said she know that it's coming from her. She said but the way that it's just been unfolding so effortlessly without her having to do anything, she's like I just don't understand like how it's just one thing after another and it's so amazing and my life is just so open. Kids are doing better in school. Her son, the one that was really sick, He hasn't had any asthma flare ups and he hasn't been missing school. So she just said it's just like everything pretty much corrected itself. But what's really happening here, you guys, is she corrected her perception of herself when she returned back to that wholeness, that oneness, realizing that she was not separate from her desires and seeing that everyone else is also her, just like we discussed yesterday in yesterday's video. It's kind of like that everyone is you pushed out. Everyone's playing the role to show her how whole she is now, how abundant she is, and how she's always been that it just seems like she's got such a disconnect with that old version of herself. What this really made me think about was two scriptures that I really want to bring up. We've talked about them here before, but the first one is Isaiah 43, verse 17 through 19, and it's forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams and in the wastelands. And so, yes, that higher power is moving through her. But I tell you guys all the time that you will see different circumstances, even with what you've already created, based on the perception of yourself. So if you see through the lens of lack, that's all you're going to see. If you see through wholeness, that oneness, that there's only I am, that there's only one mind, then you'll see what you've created, even the mess that you've created, you'll see it completely differently. And so another scripture that I want to point out is Amos 9, verse 15 through 18. And it says, yes, indeed, it won't be long now. Things are going to happen so fast your head will swim. One thing fast on the heels of another. You won't be able to keep up. Everything will be happening at once. And everywhere you look, blessings. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. And I'm telling you guys, I think you guys think that it's not that easy, but it is. And the reason why I say that you only tell the new story, and this is what she's done, we've talked about it, and she said, I just kept telling the new story. I just kept seeing things the way that I wanted to see them. And when you only tell the new story, you guys, it's not that that other story of lack doesn't exist. It felt like instead of trying to change that old version of her, she redeemed her true nature by telling the story of God, of someone that's whole. This is how you reconcile with yourself, you guys, and others, is only telling the new story, only seeing things the way that you want them to be, not saying that even though those parts of that old story creep up, that's what it is, you guys. Like, of course, it's going to happen, especially when you put your awareness on something new. Of course, the old story is going to get louder. But when you constantly see through the fact that there's only one mind, then you're going to see things the way that you once saw them, as separation and lack, of now the fact that, oh, it's instead of saying that this version doesn't exist, you redeem yourself, just like Neville talked about in one of his lectures. You redeem yourself by seeing things exactly the way that you want them to be, from seeing it the fact that there was no separation to begin with anyway. And hopping timelines, you guys, let's talk about it, because since she's saying that she really does not have any recollection of how she was previously, like she just doesn't connect to that version of herself. Like she's like, I can't even believe that that was a version that I was living, and that reality felt very real. But what's happening here is when we talk about hopping timelines, you guys, and we're saying that you're abandoning the ideal of lack, it's anything that you've added on to yourself. You're merging with that new ideal self, that higher self. So she's saying that every time she thinks back now to the arguments that she had with her ex and all the discord, all the lack, the money issues, everything in her life, she said now she can only see it that it happened a different way. And so we talk about this all the time, and I've talked about this with other clients as well. What's happening here is you're merging, and what you're doing at the same time you're emerging, it's forgiving that old version, forgiving that previous state. is to see it exactly the way that you wanted it to be. So like I said, the more that she actually has those memories back when she said that her and her ex were arguing, she said she could hear the conversations being differently, that they actually came to a resolution. She could see the fact that the money had always been present. She could just see the fact that everyone at her job was always kind. And what I tell you guys all the time is there's only now. Seeing that the manifestations are only now, what's happening here is that it's being revealed that what she truly wanted from her state of being, the stories have to be different. And so for her to be the version of herself that has these effortless manifestations, that version only sees things as whole and complete and effortless, and not trying to fix things, but seeing the greater picture behind what's appearing is the fact that there's only wholeness, that there's only one, and that everyone is working together to have a cohesive experience. And so, yes, you guys, the more that you focus on telling your new story, not to deny the old story, it's never to deny what previously happened, because that did happen in one reality, but you reconcile and you redeem yourself and you see the new things constantly when you tell the story of things the way that you want them to be. When you see things from the past and you look through a different lens, you will start to see them differently. And these are things that are revealed through you. There's not anything that you have to physically try to change to see different. It will naturally be revealed to you that those conversations were different. And it's kind of miraculous in that way, because this is how it works. You're merging with that ideal. She was merging with that version of her that is abundant, is wealthy, has always been. So, of course, they can only see things a certain way. That version of herself could only see her life through the lens of love, through the lens of abundance. So, anything that she's thought previously before has a new meaning. And so, that's what I want you guys to understand is when you only tell the new story, that is how you redeem yourself. That is how you forgive. That is how you move past the lack and the resistance, is to tell the new story about yourself only, to not say that, oh, that shouldn't be there, but it's to welcome it in. It's integrating. That's what you're doing. You're integrating all the parts, all the lack, all the stories. You're integrating them into the whole, because you're not trying to say that, oh, that shouldn't be here. It's to redeem yourself and see that all of it is perfect and it always was perfect. And that's what she's realizing here. And so her biggest tips was, and this is one that I tell you guys all the time, is to make decisions from thinking that there's always more, instead of looking at what you only currently have. So let's just say that you are looking to, let's say, take a vacation at the end of the year, and you're looking, well, I only have, let's say, $1,000 right now. You're not thinking about that, because you're unlimited. You're unlimited. You're unlimited, you guys. So when you're thinking from the quantum, you're thinking that there's always more. So you're not conditioning how you're going to get on that vacation, how the money's going to appear. You're only seeing the fact that there's a vacation and that you're wanting to go. And so you're going to link yourself up to the fact that you're limitless and you're abundant. So you're going to think from the experience, thinking from there's always more, not I only have this. Because if you're thinking, well, I only have this, you're thinking inside a story of lack, and you're trying to manifest inside a story. Remember, like I told you on yesterday's video, come up from under that story and stand on top of the story, so that way you can direct it. So you're only seeing abundance. You're choosing, this is what you're choosing to see. You're choosing to see the fact that there's more, instead of this little section that you're trying to fix and move around. You get from out of that story into the sea of possibilities. And that's what's been happening to her. She said she never now thinks that she can't do something or have something. She sees that, well, there's always more. I live in an infinite universe. I live in a universe that takes care of me. I live with the fact that I am unlimited. So, of course, I can have, I can do, I can be, and I don't have to know the how. So she doesn't condition. She doesn't condition how it's going to come in. She just knows she's living from there's always more to experience, instead of I only have this. And this is what I've been telling you guys all the time. Instead of seeing like, okay, well, I only have this and this is happening, that is happening, you really have to see that you are unlimited and you live in other realities and things have happened different ways for you. Things are currently happening different for you in other realities, but you won't be able to reach those frequencies or reach those thoughts of that ideal person if you're thinking from only having what you currently have inside a story, which is inside a state of being of lack. Okay, so you move out of that into the unlimitedness that you are. And so the last thing that she said was she really stopped seeking. And this is really important, you guys, because so many of us, we keep ourselves on a hamster wheel, knowing within our hearts that we know enough, that you know enough. You've taken in so much content, you know the techniques, you know everything, you know exactly what to do, and you've had many successful manifestations. Why do you keep looking for more content, another answer, another this, another that? There has to be more. That's what keeps us stuck in I am not and I don't have. So what she's done, she said that she removed herself from a lot of groups and she's done less content, and she said she's just living, because most of us, like I said, you guys are so cerebral. We're always just sitting and thinking like, okay, how can I move? How can I do this? What do I need to do? There's another video. Here's another video. There's another technique. All these things keeps you from keeps you being inside a story instead of being living your life, actually living the experience of I am. And so really, once you know that it's you and it's all you, especially if you've had many manifestations or things that have been working out for you and you know what works for you in your life, then there's no need to constantly seek the next thing because it's all coming from you anyway. You're the only decider for your life, you guys. So she stopped seeking, and the end of seeking is being, is knowing, is being still and knowing that you are source, you guys. So that's what I want you to understand. That was her biggest tips, is realizing that she's making decisions from the quantum and thinking that there's always more. That's the main thing that I will share with you guys that has really helped me too. And that's why I always tell you that, is to not think from what you currently have, because you're putting limitations on yourself, on I am, okay? And only telling that new story, I'm telling you guys, if you only tell the new story, you're going to get new memories from that ideal that things actually went the way that you wanted it to go. It can be no other way, you guys. It can be no other way. So I'm excited to work with her for the rest of the year. There's so many amazing things just happening for her all at once. But I wanted to share this with you guys because it really is easy. Once it starts steamrolling, the next thing you know, it's the next after next after next after next. And it's a total life change. It's not just in that one little area you're trying to manifest. Your whole life will be different. And that's what I need you guys to know. It's not that you're just manifesting your SP, just manifesting the money, just manifesting the home or whatever material thing. You as a person will know that you are whole and complete. Your whole life will be different, okay? Your memories will be different. Everything will be different, okay? So I'm going to leave this video here for you guys. I hope that you have an amazing weekend. And once again, you guys, if you need a session with me by phone or email, get down in the description box below. You'll find the links. Don't forget to join us over on Discord. And don't forget to download my freebies if you haven't. And remember, you guys, imagination is always on your side, and I am too. Bye.